Good day, dear ones. Welcome to Saturday Relationship Talk with Olami. My name is Olalere Olamilekun. Um, our topic for today is forgiveness in relationship slash advice to Asake. As you all know, we have this topic since 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. But since the topic resonates with Asake issue, I decided to talk on it. Now, first thing first, we need to understand what is forgiveness. As we all know, forgiveness is the process of letting go of anger, or let me say, to forgive someone or someone forgive us. That's the definition of forgiveness. Now, what is forgive? To forgive, to let go of anger, resentment. We all understand what it means, right? Now, I dropped a picture alongside this topic, a picture of a broken plate and a broken spoon. I now ask that, can things go back to normal after being hurt? You understand, right? Now, this explains that we have different kind of hurts. It cannot be same thing. So, illustrating it with pictures, the picture of the plate and the spoon, it is just to make us to think about it before I talked on it. Since being hurt can't be same thing, then every kind of hurt thing cannot be broken plate or broken spoon. I will explain this. What I'm saying in essence is this: we have different kind of being hurt. We can even interpret hurt to be a wound. Wound can't be same thing. We have severe injury, we have minor injury. So same thing applies to hurt. Now let me just give us few example of kinds of hurt. Number one, both workers hurt, or should I add neighbors hurt. We understand the boss workers own, right? Like maybe your boss suspend you. If the suspension you felt it is wrong, as the worker, you'll be feeling hurt towards your boss. As the boss, he or she might also be feeling hurt if truly you deserve the suspension. That's one kind of hurt. The neighbors' perspective to it, like maybe your neighbors are making jest of you, stuffs like that. Those ones are one kind of hurt. The second kind of hurtness is the family hurt between siblings, between brothers and sisters. Let me even be treating it as I'm explaining so that we won't take much time. Now, the both workers hurt slash the neighbors hurt. Those ones are kind of hurt that doesn't really connect with emotion that much. Fine, I understand. You might cry, you might do a lot of things depending on the kind of person you are. I understand. But still, it is kind of hurt that it is periodic. Now, if you move out of that environment, the hurt naturally dies down. If you secure another job, a better job, the hurt between boss and workers naturally dies down. So do you understand that kind of hurtness, that kind of hurt, sorry, can't be compared to other kinds of hurt because it's a periodic thing. It is during that time that you feel the hurt. Immediately you get something better, most times the hurt just die down naturally. Do we get it? Even even if you are not moving out of that environment, that we still need to be in the same environment with the same neighbors, or after suspension we need to resume back to our office, or the other way around, the boss needs to call us back after the suspension. Still, this kind of hurt can be easily corrected with two things: conditional forgiveness and aphesis. I will explain. Conditional forgiveness, like, okay, you console yourself, like, oh, it's because I don't have option. I'm still working here. Then, even if my boss offended me, I have to let go of this odds and resume office so that I can still earn things to, that thing will console you naturally because it's a conditional forgiveness. It's not as if you're forgiving the person, but you have to condition yourself to forgive. And that is why when we have better offer, we just jump, we disappear. Same thing applicable to boss. There are situations that your boss might felt, oh, even I don't like this guy character, but at least it's still an integral part of this company. It is helping me. She is helping me, or he is helping me. So conditional forgiveness will apply immediately. He or she will need to call you back because he or she needs you. So immediately they got someone better, pa, you are sacked. So those are conditional forgiveness. Like, okay, I have to condition myself to forgive the person. The second one I said aphesis. Aphesis is a Greek word meaning let go. That is the extreme of conditional forgiveness, which I've tried to explain with the neighbor. Now, if you move out of the environment that you are not seeing your neighbor again, that's aphesis. You've moved on. Naturally, you forget about the hurt. Same thing applicable to both workers relationship. If you secure another job, if you secure another staff, you forget about that hurt. It is natural. You move on. That is on the first kind of hurt. The second one is family hurt between siblings, brother and sisters relationship. Now, either way, whether the elder or the younger or the junior or stuff, either way, we hurt ourselves. Do you understand me? We hurt ourselves, which is normal. We hurt ourselves. We hurt ourselves. Now, naturally, this supposed to be something serious, but let's call a spade his name. Now, siblings relationship are becoming something like a joke. People don't really take it serious. Even without hurting each other, people are not taking their siblings serious anymore. Ask yourself, when last do you visit your siblings? When last do you have this family thing? So since the relationship is going to something of more or less like a neighbor these days, then the conditional forgiveness and aphesis works perfectly for that. I mean the family, let me say in quotes, the family that doesn't maintain a strong bond, which is what is attainable these days, except we want to deceive ourselves. Now, the next one is parent children hurt. This is serious because it is eternal, and which is the situation happening between Asake and his parents currently that I will still have to explain later. But let me brief it. Now, this kind of relationship, the parent children hurt, you cannot use both conditional forgiveness and aphesis. Most times people do that conditional forgiveness, or even times they do that aphesis, but it will never work. An adage in Yoruba will say, permit me, I'm going to use Yoruba in this video, especially when it got to Ashake stage. It will be a mixture of English and Yoruba so that I can really pass the message. Now, an adage in Yoruba say, wọ́n ní kíní ìkíní ẹ̀, olóhùn lọ sóko, òun lọ sódò, tó o bá toko, tó o bá todò dé, ó máa bá ń bẹ̀. What does this mean? Like, oh, this thing is part of you. You are not saying because I'm angry, I'm busy, I'm doing that. After everything, that thing will still be there. Ashaka can't claim another parent. The parents can't claim another children or another child in Ashake's case now. So it is something forever. So if you deceive yourself by using conditional forgiveness or aphesis, you are just deceiving yourself. Something will still bring that relationship back. So it will not work for it. Conditional forgiveness and aphesis, it will not work for it. Now, the last one, before I now talk about what will work for the two. I've mentioned the first two that you can use conditional forgiveness and aphesis to get over that. But parent, children, hurt, you can't use conditional forgiveness and aphesis to solve it. Now, the last one is partners hurt. It is still same thing as parent children hurt. if you guys will still maintain that partner, either as husband and wife, or partners, like committed partners, you can't use conditional forgiveness and aphesis. It will never work because it is something that you have to be in it forever. So you cannot treat it like part-time thing. You have to be damn serious. Now, let me repeat myself. The first two I said you can use conditional forgiveness and aphesis. I now said the last two you can't dare use that. That is parent children ought and partners ought. Because we are on a relationship talk show, I will focus on partners ought. Then maybe during Ashake's advice, the few minute advice we want to pass to him, then we can dwell a bit into that parent children's ought. But same thing works for them, for the two. Now, there is a popular adage that we all know, which says, "To err is human, to forgive is divine." Now, if you think deep on this adage, you understand that to actually forgive is godliness, is God thing. Like it belongs to God. So that means it's not going to be easy for a human being to forgive, especially in this case of parent-children hurt and relationship hurt. Oh, sorry, partners. Where I can see relationship partners hurt, and we all know that to err is human, which means we must hurt each other. I've given us solution for the first two. What is the solution for these two? The last two. And it is bound to happen because we are human beings. Now, let me give us some quotes first before I proceed. Bible said, "Blessed are those that settle rift or let go of anger, because they will be called child of God." Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Do you want me to tell you the most powerful human among you guys, among human beings?" And he said, "He who have the power to punish who hurt him or her, but decide not to punish, rather forgive the person." That's the most powerful person. Our founding fathers as an Africans, they have their own saying too. It goes thus: anger never solve anything. It even worsen it. Now, if you put all these three quotes side by side, it's telling us a thing. And what is that thing? That forgiveness is not actually even for those that hurt us. It is for us. Don't get confused. How is it for us? How is it for us? Because it makes us to be sons of God, children of God, godliness, godlike. I'm saying small g here now. We can never be God, like godliness of big G. I'm saying small g, godliness. So since we know that forgiveness is actually for us to be godliness, since we know that, then don't you think it's easier? It makes it easy for us to forgive those that hurt us, those that offend us. Now, how do we forgive people that hurt us? Most especially the parents, children hurt, and the partners hurt. How? I said I'll be putting Yoruba in this. I know it's common everywhere, but in Yoruba, we love to say this a lot. That Odebolugbo Omomora, Odebaresa Omora, Okan Rogunlela Omomora, one of my shokunrin Agbati Kweni Wa Momora. Like telling people to let go of anger, resentment, as if it is just something of plug and play or plug and unplug. Do we get it? It doesn't work that way. Why? Because as human being, we have four types of life quotients. Four types. The popular one that everybody knows, IQ. We used to be proud of it. I have high IQ. I have this. Fine. As important as IQ is, the other three too are very integral part of our lives, but people don't know. Now, I'm not going to treat quotient today, life quotient today. There won't be space for that. I'll just focus on the one that is important to this topic. We have IQ, intelligence quotient. We have EQ, emotional quotient. We have SQ, social quotient. And we have AQ, adversity quotient. Now, how to forgive depends on two. One, emotional quotient. How the person can handle things that has to do with emotions. Then adversity quotient. How the person can react to adversity. Anyone that has scored low in those two will surely struggle to forgive people. It is natural. No matter how high their IQ is, it will be hard for them to forgive. But anyways, let's leave that because I said I don't want to dwell much on quotient today, life content today. Now back to our topic. How do we forgive? Forgiveness has four stages that every human being are bound to go through those stages. Every human being. The first stage is the hurting stage. If someone hurts you, for example, God forbid, someone kill your child, you cannot automatically forgive the person. You must first hurt. You must feel the pain. We are human. It has to burn us. But I will be focusing more on relationship because we are on relationship talk. Now let's go to that partner's hurt and the hotness now, the hurting stage in it. Now I know what everybody will focus on. Will be maybe cheating or adding another wife as a man. I am not condemning polygamy here because today is not, or I'm not supporting. Today is not a day for polygamous talk or polygamous show or polygamy stuffs. That is a very, very tedious topic that I might take hours to talk on. But any kind of hurt in relationship between husband and wife or partners, including that adding another wife or cheating, please, it is not automatic for the person to let it go. It can never be. The person has to pass through hurting stage. Now, how long that will take will depend on that AQ, adversity quotient, and EQ, emotional quotient. So let them hurt. Let them hurt. We are human. We are different. We are just human by name. A lot of things are different in us. So the way I will hurt might not be the way you will hurt. We have to understand that this person is hurting. We have to respect that period for that person. Let them hurt. Now, this is solely their own game. We can't help it. We can't help them. It is just them. It is just what they are thinking. It is just what their brain is processing. Fine, we can advise, we can talk, we can, in fact, we can bully, we can do stuffs to them. But still, it depends on them. It depends on that two things I mentioned, EQ, AQ. Now, after the hurting stage, the next stage is what is called the healing stage. After hurting, depending on how long you hurt, you certainly get to that healing stage. What is healing stage? It is a stage that you were able to talk to yourself like, okay, for how long will I be on this? Yoruba will say, tá a bá jà kan tí ò bá parí, ìgbà wo la fẹ́ jà míì? Those are the stage that naturally one will be telling himself or herself like, okay, fine, I've been angry with this guy for this period. Now, that one depends on outer force. It is not just about we now. I said hurting stage depends on us, but healing stage has to do with others around us. I'm angry with my wife, I'm angry with my girlfriend, I'm angry with my husband, I'm angry with my boyfriend or fiancé or whatever name we can name it. The person is now showing a remorseful act. The person is now, I mean, your partner is now showing things that will make you to rethink. So at that healing stage, those actions from our partners will help it, will determine it, we influence it. Can we see the difference between hurting stage and healing stage? At healing stage, reactions of people around us will influence it. It is natural. Now, apart from even your partner, your husband or your wife, your fiancé, your husband's friends, your wife's friends, his or her relatives, they were like, "Oh, dear wife, we know what our husband, what our son or whatever, they were our friend did is wrong. You have been a good girl to us. We are sorry on his behalf, this, that," trying to give you shoulder to rest on. Not just as a guy, even as a girl too. Do you understand what I mean? Both ways. People around them are trying to give you shoulder to lean on during your healing stage. Don't mix it up. During hurting stage, they are just wasting their saliva. You won't value it. But during healing stage, because naturally yourself, you have positioned yourself to see light beyond behind the channel. So you start giving room for outside influence. Now, this is the danger point in forgiveness. What makes it dangerous? At that healing point, it is like a flexible thing that an act from the erring partner can return you back to hurting stage automatically. You just find that, Paul, I've been feeling calm. I'm trying to forgive this guy or this girl. How am I this angry? So a simple mistake can take you back to hurting stage. So it's a very delicate time, the healing stage. Or not even just them. You know, I said influence from outside matters on this as well. So I don't want to use abusive word. How will I put this? But still, let me try and use it like an insult or a loose mouth from our partner's relatives, friends, can return us to hurting stage. Let me use the one that is common. Maybe, yeah, your husband has another woman, either as Muslim or Christians or pagans, or so far we are human being. This is general. This is general. Now they were now like, ṣé wọ́n nìkan náà máa kọ́kọ́ fẹ́ yàwó lé ni, ṣé wọ́n ní kinní kan ni, àjọjọjọ má pọ̀ mọ́ wa o. All those words will naturally return you back to hurting stage from the healing stage. That's how delicate that period is. So I used to advise your healing stage. It is even better to select people that you will be dealing with at that period. I've talked about sealed mouth. If you have been following me for long, this is where that thing works most. You have to be very, very careful. Once you get to that healing stage, you will know. You will start laughing more with him. You start trying to reconnect things. You will understand that you are at healing stage. That stage, please, I'm begging you, don't talk about him or her with someone that is angry with him or her, with someone that they were not in peace, with someone that maybe as a girl now, you now have the one we used to call in quotes, your paddy guy, your best friend. As a girl, you now have a guy as your best friend, or your ex, or your anyone that has interest in you. At your early stage, don't discuss your guy's matter with them. They will return you back to hurting stage. It is natural. Same thing applicable to guys or husband. Now you have an ex or your former wife or your sister that is like like an enemy to your wife. You are at your healing stage. You are now telling um You're now telling the, what's it called now? I don't want to use odd word. Like the other girl, like my wife, and even though I've started to start forgiving her or my girlfriend, though I just think that we should work things out. You are now discussing it with that kind of person, my dear brother. They will return you to hurting stage. So at that point, it is better to maintain sealed lips. Like you don't want to talk to people about it. Just respect yourself. And if it is a must that you must discuss, there are people that cannot keep things to them, that they love to share things. Please, please, I'm begging. Talk to people that will help you to heal, not people that will return you to hurting stage. I think we understand the healing stage. Then we now go to the next stage, the godliness, the smudgy, the godlike, the forgiving stage. Healing stage doesn't take more than, at most, if something did not trigger you back, at most for human being, it shouldn't be more than a week at most, a week or 2 weeks at most. Now, when you get to that stage of when you pass healing stage, you now get to the forgiving stage. Now, at that point, my dear brother, my dear sister, put this behind your head. I'm not doing it for you. I'm not forgiving you. I'm forgiving myself. I've wasted much time on this thing. I need to move on. That is the forgiving stage. So once you can decide that okay, I've forgiven you not because you deserve my forgiveness, but because I myself deserve forgiving myself. I want to be godlike, small g. I want to be godlike. I want to have my peace. At that stage, outer influence, your husband mistakes won't affect the forgiveness. I'm not saying they cannot hurt you again. No, it will now be a fresh case. It has nothing to do with the current anger. Though we might plus one plus two. I don't know if you understand me. We might plus one plus two. But once you can get to forgiveness stage, it is a fresh case. It is not that prior hurt. Though we might connect it together. And how will you understand this? It is easy, especially for people in polygamous marriage. Now, your husband had another wife, second wife. You went through the stage of the hurting and the healing. You now forgive. After forgiving, if the man had third wife, you will notice that the first wife will not be angry. Not because he does not love him anymore, but because he has gotten to that forgiving stage. Like, it's your problem now. Do we get it? So that is the forgiving stage. Then the last one, the forgetting stage. I used to laugh a lot when I hear people say forgive and forget. My dear brother, my dear sister, to forget is not written on the marble. It is not a must. Forgiving is the must. That's why the adage is to err is human, to forgive is divine. We don't need to deceive ourselves. There are things that we can never forget. I've cited an example. Some, God forbid, someone kill your child. Even if you forgive the person forever, you will still like my this thing is supposed to be this now. If not for you, do we get it? Or okay, I was about to travel. I've gotten visa. Then I have a siblings. I have a partner that can get me the tickets, but they denied me. Why denying me? I missed the ticket. Sorry, the visa. It expired. Will you ever forget that? Even if you are able to travel to all over the world. So there are certain offenses that we can never forget. So forget is not an issue. Forgive is the issue. If you can forgive, then forgetting doesn't matter. In fact, if you remember, sometimes you'll just be laughing. Just like the last scenario I painted. Now, someone, because they could not help you with ticket, you miss UK visa. Years after, you were able to afford um ticket for 10 people, and you're already traveling from US to UK to France to this to that. You will not forget. But if you see the person, you will just be laughing. It is natural as a human. Do you understand? So forgetting is not that key. Forgiving is the key. If you can forgive, we are fine. Now, let's go to Asake's issue to round it up and to talk a bit about parent children health. I'll start with Asake's parents. My dear brother Asake, this is for you. Please, if there is a way you can help me to share this video, I don't even mind cutting this Asake's part and share it till this thing gets to him. God will help your home too. I'll start with Asake's parents. They are not at hurting or healing stage anymore. But the danger there is that they are stuck in between healing and forgiving. Why? Why? They are allowing conditions to decide the situation. Or should I say they don't know how to cross that bridge, how to get out of that stuck and get to the forgiving stage. Hopefully, if they get to see this video, I don't know where I can tell in Yoruba. Please let me use Yoruba like 80% here because of those parents. I don't know if they are good with English, but I'll try and mix it together. So once he was stuck, see healing stage. Wọ́n mọ̀ ìfẹ́ cross lọ forgiving stage. Èyí tá a rí tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ń sìn, it is just conditional trigger. Condition ló trigger ló tún fi di ariwo padà. Màá dẹ̀ explain ẹ̀ tó máa yé wa. Now let me start from the father. Naturally, without even how will I put it? Mo fẹ́ sọ ìbò púpọ̀. Àwọn èèyàn ti sọ oríṣiríṣi lórí social media. Àti rí fashion tó sọ pé bàbá Àṣàkẹ́ ló tọ́jú Àṣàkẹ́ from ọdún mẹ́ta tí ẹ̀ ti gbélẹ̀ títí tó fi dàgbà. Ó ta mọ́tò fi rán ní school. Àti rí fashion yẹn. A dẹ̀ ti rí fashion tó sọ pé Àṣàkẹ́ post pé nígbà tí ìyá òun lóyún òun àbí bóyá ìgbà tó bí ni pé bàbá ẹ̀ reject ẹ̀. Like bóyá bàbá ẹ̀ ò dáa. Ṣé pé fashion méjì náà láti rí ní social media. As a relationship expert, ìyẹn gan kọ́ ló kàn mí because that's not what is next. The relationship angle to it lèmi fẹ́ tọ́jú ni mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. Now, I said they are stuck. Ibi tó ti wà stuck rẹ̀. I said I will start from Baba Asake. This is the problem there. The man is a natural islander. I'm on Lagos Island. Okay, sọ pé Èkó general. Don't let me say one part. Èkó general. Naturally, máa yẹn nígbà tí activeness ṣì wà tẹ́gungun ṣì wà tán ṣì ń fò kiri. Wọ́n ò really rán Àṣàkẹ́. He is like, wo, màá ṣe ilé ayé mi, which is natural Lagosian's life. Tí mi bá bí ẹ ń kọ́ ṣe mi ní gbélé ayé mi. That's the reason tí Àṣàkẹ́ máa fi lè ní guts láti máa lo orúkọ mọ́mí àti orúkọ Ọlọ́ládé Àṣàkẹ́. Ṣé ẹni wọn wá gbọ́ orúkọ dádì ẹ̀ nínú orúkọ rí? So, bàbá tí ò ń ṣe bàbá nonchalant pé wo problem ẹni màá ṣayé mi the Lagosian's father. Ṣé kò ti ní bá fa tipẹ́ ni? Are you whining me? Ládùúrú ìyà tí mo jẹ lórí ẹ̀. For those that are saying ó jìyà lórí ẹ̀. I'm not saying wọ́n tí ní conversation yẹn lórí o, but conversation yẹn máa yàtọ̀ tí ò bá ń ṣàwọn bàbá wo màá lo ayé mi ẹnìkan ò lè pa mí. So màá jìyà lórí ọmọ ń sìn ọmọ kan wá ní orúkọ ìyá òun lòun fẹ́ máa jẹ. Ẹ understand nǹkan tí mo ń sọ? So the father has been like, wo, it is your life. I'm here to live my life. Now, on the mother's end, ẹ̀yin obìnrin wa, ẹ̀bẹ̀ ni màá bẹ̀ yín. We all know, or tí gbogbo èèyàn bá tiẹ̀ mọ̀, some of us have been saying this sí àwọn ọkùnrin wa. See, whether you like it or not, natural love ni Ọlọ́run fi sáàárín ìyá àtàwọn ọmọ. We can't win. Kò ń ṣe battle tó yẹ kẹ́ni ọkùnrin máa start rárá. O ò lè win. So má ṣòpò start ẹ̀. Èyí tí ó jìnnà ẹ wo ọ̀rọ̀ Mohbad. At least ìyẹn ò rújú pé bàbá ẹ̀ ló tọ́. Àbí? Pọ̀ngbà tó bẹ̀ jìnnà, ṣé iye ẹ̀kọ́ ló wá ń jókòó ló ń tọ́jú ọmọ inú ilé ẹ̀ ní Lẹ́kí? Nature ni. ṣebí Mohbad ọ̀hún ti kọrin rí tó fi ta sí yẹ pé ó gbóhùn lẹ́hùn ò rí ọ̀hún for 10 years, ṣé kò torí ẹ̀ tọ́jú ẹ̀ náà ni? Nature ni bọ́lá òun ṣe ṣe ni. So stop struggling. Now to the mother, ìyá Asake, ẹ ti kọjá hurting stage mo yẹn sọ, ẹ ti kọjá healing stage. How? Ẹ ti bínú síra yín, ẹ ti fúnra yín lépè. Èmi ò mọ tó fàjà yín. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's in the previous video. But again, finish a concluding part. Like I said, I'm going to do more of Yoruba than English. Nítorí kí message yẹn lè dé ibi tí mo fẹ́ kó lọ, which is Baba àti Ìyá and Asake and possibly people around them. So màá ṣe lè ní Yorùbá kó pọ̀. So màá tag ẹ ní concluding parts. Now, kí n kàn sáré summarize Asake tí mò ń bá bọ̀. I said lórí ọ̀rọ̀ forgiveness as mo tún ti ń sọ èbó, bó ṣe ní ṣe pẹ̀lú parent and children hurt. Mo wá sọ̀rọ̀ pé màá bẹ̀rẹ̀ látọ̀dọ̀ Asake's parents, látọ̀dọ̀ àwọn òbí ẹ̀. So mo ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣàlàyé bọ̀ wípé okay, kí n kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ látòrí bàbá ẹ̀ àti ìyá ẹ̀. Wọ́n ti kọjá hurting and healing stage tí ò rújú. Wọ́n kàn wá stuck láàárín healing to forgiveness ni. Wọn ò mọ bọ́n ṣe máa sọdá afárá yẹn. And conditions wá ń fẹ́ máa jẹ́ kó relapse mọ́ wọn lọ́wọ́. Àwọn irú tiwọn yìí, wọn ò lè ever padà sí hurting and healing stage. Wọ́n kàn máa wà stuck náà ni. Kò sí pé ẹnìkan ń bínú kan àbí ẹnìkan kò bínú mọ́, kankan ló ń ṣe wọ́n. Conditions ń mú wọn fẹ́ máa jẹ̀jà tí ò nídìí ni. Tó dẹ̀ máa bí irú repercussions tó ń bí ní social media yìí. But to bá máa lo Yorùbá yìí, kí n ṣáà máa gbà àkókò jù. Yeah. Now, mo fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ látòrí bàbá yẹn. Ṣé rí bàbá Asake, because àti oríṣiríṣi fashion social media, látọdún mẹ́ta ló ti ń tọ́, ó tọ́ látọdún mẹ́ta, ó tọ́ tó fi jáde, ó ta mọ́tò, ó fi tán school, ṣe gbogbo ẹjọ́ yẹn. Tábà ní tanra wa, average Islanders, or kí n má sọ pé àwọn ọmọ Èkó, àwọn Islanders kan, kí ní Lagosians, average Lagosians máa ń live life nonchalant pé wo o lè wá pa mí, ọmọ wáyé tiẹ̀, èmi bàbá náà wáyé tèmi, kó ní kálukú ṣàyé ẹ̀. If not so, ọmọ tó tọ́ láti primary, láti ọmọ ọdún mẹ́ta tó tọ́ university tó jẹ gbogbo ìyàlé lórí, a wá decide láti máa lórúkọ mọ́mí ẹ̀ Ọlọ́ládé Asake, then bàbá máa overlook. Mi sọ pé wọ́n ti ní conversation yẹn, wọ́n lè ti ní rí, but without deceiving ourselves, without missing a word, certainly bàbá yẹn wò pé wo kò important ni. And whether we like it or not, number one èrè, mi fẹ́ sọ pé the only èrè táwa ọkùnrin jẹ in this part of the world as an African náà ni pé àwọn ọmọ wa máa maintain orúkọ wa lọ, that our heritage. Ọmọ wa máa maintain ẹ̀, especially ọmọ ọkùnrin. So for your own ọmọ ọkùnrin kó máa lọ jẹ́ Ọlọ́ládé Asake and you keep mum all this while, sum it up. Ó ṣàlàyé irú bàbá yẹn pé kò sí pé ọ̀tọ́jú Asake, mi ò mú tí n bá sí mi ò ń sọ. He might be a good father. In fact, pẹ̀lú táwọn èèyàn tí ń sọ, he is. But wọ́n jẹ́ àwọn bàbá Èkó Lagosians pé wo kí ló kàn mí ajáyé tiẹ̀. In fact, part of me is feeling like tí ò bá ń ṣe pé kíní ìgan bọ́ sórí bóyá bọ́ sórí fún bàbá yẹn pé ara wọn tí ò yàwó dé level yìí ni. Ẹ̀yin náà ṣàgbọ́n tó sọ láti 2022 làwọn ò ti sọ̀rọ̀ mọ́. That's 3 years. So ṣé wọ́n wá ta, ṣe tí mo rú àwọn bàbá yẹn gan bàbá pé okay, mo ṣe ohun bá tí mo lè ṣe lórí ẹ̀, ohun tó bá wù ẹ́ kó ṣe, èmi náà ṣe ilé ayé mi. And let me add this, some of us have been saying this and bóyá àwọn èèyàn ò tí mọ̀, àwọn ò tí gbà dáadáa náà. Ayé tí àwa ọkùnrin wá, àwa sacrifice fóbìnrin ni. Whether you like it or not, it is better káwọn ọkùnrin tètè gbà la fi máa lè ní peace that deserve ní ọjọ́ alẹ́ wa. See, ìyá ò bá fi ọmọ lẹ̀ kó lọ gbére. Don't start a war you can never win. Don't struggle with bá máa yẹ pé ń sìn mí ìfẹ́ lo ìbò. Don't struggle with pé okay o, ọmọ ẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ fẹ́ràn mi torí mi mo jìyà lé lórí. Natural love tọ́lọ́run dá sáàrin wọn ni. Tá bá tiẹ̀ mẹ́ni tó jìyà jù lórí Asake, aṣáàmọ́ ti Mohbad tí ó jìnnà kò rújú pé bàbá ẹ̀ ló tọ́ àbí. In fact Mohbad fúnra rẹ̀ fi kọrin pé iye òun ti gbé òun lẹ̀ bóyá for 10 years or there about years. ẹjọ́ ńgbà tó bẹ́ẹ̀ jìnnà ta ló lọ ń jókòó tó ń tọ́jú ọmọ? ìyá ni ọ̀pọ̀npọ̀ ti lọ. So ẹni ọkùnrin tó bá fẹ́ràn rẹ̀ tó fẹ́ ní peace of mind má bá obìnrin struggle ọmọ pé èmi ló nífẹ̀ẹ́ ìwọ ló nífẹ̀ẹ́. Don't do it. It's a battle we can never win. Mi sọ pé àdáwọn ọmọ tó ń nífẹ̀ẹ́ bàbá wọn o, but gbogbo àwọn yẹn wọ́n wà minute, on rare occasions ló máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀. The general standard ni pé Ọlọ́run ti fi bóyá oúnjẹ tó ń fún wọn nígbà ìyá wọn bóyá ti ẹ̀kọ́ oúnjẹ tó ń fún wọn nígbà ìyá wọn tó máa ń wojú ara wọn yẹn ni ó ní connection kan tó máa ń send síra wọn, that ẹ máa rí bàbá àti ìyá tó máa ṣe ọmọ ní same ẹ̀ṣẹ̀. Ìyá máa gbé ọmọ lé o máa sá ló máa lọ lọ́kọ mi, bàbá máa padà fẹ́ ìyàwó mi, fine, possibly bóyá ìyàwó tí bàbá yẹn fẹ́ maltreat ọmọ yẹn dẹ̀ máa dàgbà á dẹ̀ máa blame bàbá ẹ̀ pé ó fìyà jẹ mí. Bàbá tí ò fi lè jẹ́ kó kàn fẹ́ ìyàwó lé gòkè kó má kàn dá wà ní o, ìyá ẹ̀ tó gbélé tó lọ á dẹ̀ máa tọ́jú ìyá yẹn pé àkálẹ̀ wà ń bí ní mi ìbá gbádùn. Kò ṣe pé ó rí àwọn ọmọ yẹn dàrú, natural love tó wà ní àárín wọn ni. Ṣé I understand? Now to the mother, kí tó wá sọ ohun tẹ́ máa fi kúrò ní ibi tẹ́ stock sí between healing and forgiveness. To the mother, èmi máa ń bẹ̀ yín ni, mo máa ń bẹ̀ yín ni, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má máa fi ọmọ settle scores. Ó ti so common jù fẹ́yìn obìnrin, ó ti so common jù fẹ́yìn obìnrin kẹ́ fẹ́ máa fi ọmọ ṣe payback because ẹ mọ̀ pé ní upper hand bẹ́ẹ̀ kò dá lánàá, kò dá lénìí, kò lè dá lọ́la. Tóbìnrin máa ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ lójú yín ẹ lè fi pé ó dá, tó bá yá ẹ máa realize pé kò dá. Ìyá Mohbad ló máa mọ ibi tá rẹ̀ kún sí báyìí with this situation. Àwa lè máa rí nǹkan míì níta but nínú kọ̀rọ̀ yàrá ẹ̀ òun ló lè explain situation ẹ̀. But jẹ́ ìfìyẹn lè jẹ́ wà lórí nǹkan tí mò ń sọ lọ which is ọ̀rọ̀ Àṣàkẹ́. So ẹ̀yin ìyá wa please, no matter ìṣẹ̀ tí bàbá yẹn ṣẹ̀, ó dá sọ́mọ ni, ó tọ́jú ọmọ ni o, kò tọ́jú ọmọ ni o, either ways ẹ má máa fi wọ́n pay back. Not even in this kind of situation tẹ́yìn fúnra yín ti move on, tẹ́tí fẹ́ lómi ti pẹ́ 20 years back or thereabout. Ṣé you understand nǹkan tí mò ń sọ? Years back let's move on. So why paying him back now? Àwọn èèyàn lè máa sọ pé báwo ló ṣe pay back? Ó simple, field tiwa ni. One of the posts tá a rí ni pé Àṣàkẹ́ sọ pé bàbá òun reject oyún òun. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ báwo lóyún inú ṣe fẹ́ mọ ohun tó ṣẹlẹ̀? Certainly ìyá lára point ìyá yẹn fún un ni. Nígbà tí ìyá yẹn padà wọlé tán lára nǹkan tó ń lò nìyẹn pé òun ló lé mi kúrò nílé o, wò ó fẹ́ pa mí ni mo fi sá lọ, kódà kò fẹ́ gboyún ẹ kíní kan. Compile with natural love tọ́lọ́run ti ní kó wà láàrin wọn. So please mothers, don't do that. Gbogbo ala náà kíní ìlara ní ara wa. Ṣé mo kọ́ tó yẹ kẹ́ máa wò tí ò fi yẹ kẹ́ máa ṣe? Ṣé bọ́kùnrin làṣàkẹ́ náà? Ọkùnrin ni Mohbad, ọkùnrin ni gbogbo àwọn ẹ̀yin náà láwọn ọmọ ọkùnrin. Ta ló sọ fún yín pé wọn ò ní wúrú ìwà tí bàbá yẹn wù tẹ́yìn acclaimed ìwà tí ò dá yẹn? Ṣé inú tí yín náà máa dùn tí àwọn ìyàwó àwọn ọmọ yẹn ọkùnrin yẹn náà tán bá ń pè wọ́n báàkì báyìí? Ṣé inú yín máa dùn? Ask yourself sincere question ni. Ṣé àwọn pé inú tí yín náà ò ní dùn? Reason tẹ́ ẹ fi need ẹ̀ nìyẹn. Mi ní kẹ́ má jà láàrin ara yín but ẹ má máa involve àwọn ọmọ yẹn sí. Now to move on kúrò nínú stock yẹn tẹ́ wà níbi tẹ́ stock sí yẹn, kẹ́ lọ sí forgiveness fúnra yín. The forgiveness you both need to be God-like, that is defined for both you, ìyá Àṣàkẹ́ and bàbá Àṣàkẹ́. It is forgiveness of tomorrow. Nǹkan tẹ́yìn méjì gbọ́dọ̀ máa rò presently nìyẹn. Báwo ni ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yóò ṣe ní the generational curse lé wa lórí? Somehow ṣé mo tí ń fẹ́ máa di wọ́n ń claim pàṣàkẹ́ náà bímọ kan sìn kò tọ́ kò gbá. Ṣé ti ń rí bẹ́ẹ̀? So whatever tẹ́ bá fẹ́ decide moving forward, ẹ̀rọ kìíní yẹn pé kíkíní má lọ di ègún ọ̀la. Kò ń ṣe owó títọ́jú nìkan nínú èèyàn fi ń bàjẹ́ lọ́jọ́ alẹ́. Even káṣàkẹ́ lówó, ọlọ́run àjò lówó forever, kò ní wálé máa lo òkè sí ni o. Tó bá bímọ tó bá dọjọ́ alẹ́ tí ọmọ ẹ̀ bá ń sọ fún pé daddy go to hell with your money, ìbànújẹ́ ni generational curse ní tẹ́yìn ń ṣe lénìí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́la. So that is the forgiveness you need, that you guys need, that okay èmi àti bàbá ẹ̀ lè má kíra wa mọ́, Àṣàkẹ́ kò kàn ẹ́, tọ́jú daddy ẹ̀. From the father's end ẹ stop gbogbo ẹ mọ́mí ẹ ní òye ó tọ́jú mi yẹn, ẹ stop ẹ. even kóhun délé kó sọ fún yín pé mọ́mì ló ní kí n má ṣe fún yín, ẹ jẹ́ kó mọ̀ pé wò fílẹ̀, ìyàwó mi nìbẹ́ mi mo lọ fẹ́ ló fi bí ẹ, tí màá yà fẹ́ kò ní bí ẹ, má dá sí. Even if you guys are still having things in your heart, please, that is the forgiveness you need, both Baba and Iya Asake. Now to my dear brother Asake, Ọlọ́ládé gbogbo wa, because it is not just for Island now, gbogbo Lagosians and gbogbo Nigeria ni Asake jẹ́ Ọlọ́ládé fún. I don't want to dwell on bóyá you've helped him. Mo ti rí post tán ní you send 100 million to him, you do this, you do that. My dear brother, you are still at Otin state. What does this mean? Ṣé mo ti explain ẹ̀ nínú full video yẹn, the stage of Otin, the stage of healing. Now, I said something tẹ́ bá rántí pé mo ní healing stage wa ó wà flexible because a lot ló lè influence ẹ̀ tó máa dá wa padà sí Otin stage, which is what is wrong with Asake. You are allowing influence to return you to Otin stage, to your father. Mommy will say ó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí bínú sí bàbá tó bí. Àwọn ará àdúgbò ṣe ó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí bínú sí bàbá tó bí. And on this note, ẹ jẹ́ kí n bẹ̀ gbogbo àwa social media, I don't want to use bloggers. Kò sẹ́ni tó rọrùn kò ń ṣe èbú tí máa ní bloggers. You are not helping the matter. Fẹ́ ká Asake heal ni, ó máa hurt again. And him hurting yàtọ̀ sówó nìkan. Help o bàbá Asake. Even ká ṣe GoFundMe kó pa billions kan treat ẹ̀. The fact that pé ó ní ọmọ tó lógo tó yẹn tí ó dẹ̀ treat ẹ̀ bí bàbá, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ṣé lè replace ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú owó, ṣé rí pé ẹ lè replace ẹ̀. Do you get? So ẹ jọ̀ọ́ nítorí Ọlọ́run, healing stage Asake ẹ jẹ́ kó heal, kò kí ń pẹ́ 2-3 weeks max ó máa get over ẹ̀. Ṣé rí gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ ń sọ yìí, Asake tọ́jú yẹ ẹ̀ tẹ́jọ́ tọ́jú bàbá ẹ̀, òun ló ṣe kíní kan yìí, ẹ̀ kan máa dá padà sí Otin stage ẹ̀ ni. Ohun tó máa ṣe náà ló ti ń ṣe yìí. A máa fún yín pé okay, mo send 100 million ní last year, mo send di mọ́tò Lexus 350 ní last 2 years. A máa quantify ohun tóun ti ṣe láti fi justify pé wo èmi náà ti try, because kò heal, ó ṣe ń hurt. So please, mo ń bẹ̀ yín ni, reduce gbogbo àwọn dragging unnecessary social media. Asake, ìwọ ni mo ń advice, kò ń ṣàwọn ọmọ kọyà sọ́dọ̀ àwọn ni. Now to you, your healing stage, let it start now. How? Block your ear off gbogbo àwọn wọ́n ní wọ́n pé wọ́n ní ọ̀rọ̀ rádaràda ni. Please, my dear brother, please block your ear off all those. If it is possible tó bá máa fi social media left for periods, you have your own life without social media. Please focus on your music career. Gbogbo ayé ń gbádùn ẹ̀, Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí ìwọ náà gbádùn ara ẹ̀. Please forget about those stuff so that you can heal. Then you can now go to forgiveness. What is the forgiveness to need, Asake? Let me tell you today. Part of it ni tàwọn parent èèyàn pé okay o, mi fẹ́ kí kíní di generational curse lé mi lórí. Secondly, I said godliness ni forgiveness. Can you just do it for God? Forgive yourself, not him, not your father, not your parents. Because àmọ́ tó ń lọ láàrin wa àti mọ́mí ẹ̀ náà, ayé kan guest ni. Not your parents. You forgive yourself so that you can be godlike, so that you can move on. Please, my dear brother, àwọn kan ló fẹ́ forgive ara ẹni pé okay, I want to have peace of mind. Mi lè máa ronú pé mo fẹ́ compose orin kí n tó máa ronú pé ẹnìkan drag mi pé bàbá mi sọ pé ìyá mi sọ pé. So that is the forgiveness you need. Forgive yourself. Be godlike. Move on it. Get to that stage. Surely the forgetting yẹn, I've said earlier, dandan kọ́. You might decide to forget, you might decide not to, but please forgive. Then, how do you move to seal this forgiveness fúnra ẹ lórí bàbá ẹ based on tó ti ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí? Please, ẹ lè má ní bond yẹn mọ́, but see it as tó bá yẹ pé nìkan náà kàn ní one way or the other, ó déwájú èèyàn pé àtọ́jú bàbá yìí, ibi tọ́lọ́run ràn ẹ́ lọ́wọ́ dé tí wàá dẹ̀ tún sì lò kí lágbọ́rọ̀ Ọlọ́run, won't you? You will. You will, certainly now. You will do it. So please, my dear brother, place that man. Don't give him that bunch of money anymore. Don't. Place him on a monthly salary. Tí wọ́n fúnra rẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ó máa wà enough láti survive fún. Place him on that. Don't give him 100 million. Always tell no. Please my monthly salary mi fẹ́ fi iye kan mi fẹ́ fi táàgì lé. Do something that ìwọ fúnra rẹ conscience máa mọ̀ pé I've tried for my father ilé ìgbọ́dọ̀ tó. Then get him a house if it means taking him out of Lagos Island, because lára problem yẹn nìyẹn, environment yẹn lè máa affect wọn. So bó ṣe máa tún lọ ra lésìbò míì ọ̀n kankan bẹ́yẹn gbé wọn kúrò ń bẹ̀yẹn fún wọn monthly salary wọn kó máa lọ every month, and do this for God not me please. Tó bá ṣe pé bóyá ẹ̀kan lóṣù ni o kàn wò pókè yẹn kan àgbẹ̀ dáàdi àfàṣẹ wa kìíní kan, even if you cannot do calling bóyá voice note lè kọ́kọ́ máa ṣe, be doing it once in a month, and my dear brothers, see how God will repay you with more greatness. Bí àṣà orin yẹn náà ni ọmọ ọgbọ́n ni ẹ already, so ò ní wálẹ̀ lágbára Ọlọ́run, but please you have to do something now on this. Tó o bá ṣe kò sí anybody fẹ́ fi ẹ́ ṣe o, it is your life, but èní máa ń tán ọ̀la máa ń dé. So tọ́lá yẹn bá dé kọ́kọ́ èèyàn lè kéèyàn lè mí kọ́kọ́ èèyàn balẹ̀ pé no, I played my part níwọ̀n bá bó ṣe yé mi mọ̀. God bless you my brother. So that will be the end of today's relationship talk with Olami. Thanks for watching. Please I'm begging, kindly help us to be sharing our videos. That's the only thing you can do to help us. Please, we need your encouragement, we need engagement, we need you to comment. And please don't forget, if you have any topic that you want us to talk on, drop it under the comment section or send it to DM, talk to us. You can be rest assured your secrets are covered. Please, thank you and have a nice weekend. Thanks so much.